we miss that we're not going up against a woman's conscious mind. We're going up against a woman's subconscious mind, which is very, 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 very strong, powerful, and accurate. Very powerful. And they know exactly what's going on. So here's what happens. The language of your subconscious mind is two things: emotion and body language. Those are the two things. And you can evoke an emotion in someone else by using body language that their subconscious mind will recognize. Now, this is where things started really changing for me. And the opening thing I did, I tested everything. I broke down routines, stripped them of body language, tried them without body language, tried them with body language, tried them in pieces, tried them mixing up the pieces. And I found, I tested everything I could possibly test. And not just with one or two interactions. I mean, with 15, 20, 30 interactions each one, and to figure out which was working. And consistently over the period of several months of testing one thing, I found that body language alone, without even saying anything, outperformed everything else that I did. Period. And so this was really important to me because it meant a couple of things. It meant that the language, the thing that we're doing when we use our body language, is actually causing an emotion in a woman, and that emotion is what she reads to see whether or not she's attracted. So you can actually cause a woman to feel something subconsciously without any, she really can't help it. She just feels it. And then she'll check in to see if she likes you. And when she does, she'll feel that emotion and she'll say yes, right? But if you don't know how to do that, it doesn't matter what you're saying, when she checks in to see if she likes you, if your body language isn't perfect, really, smart, intelligent body language, you're not using it like a tool, like you use verbal language, then she'll check in and the answer will be no, and it doesn't matter what you say, it'll always be no. So I don't think of opening as walking up and talking to women anymore. I think of opening as soon as a woman knows that you exist, period, she's already decided whether or not she's attracted to you. And that's the corner of her eye, anything, right? You walk in, she can be looking this way, and you're walking in from over here, and her peripheral vision is going to pick up your body movements and then log it in her subconscious mind. And when she looks over and sees you for the first time, her subconscious mind is going to pull up that information and paint you with it. And that happens. If you've ever screwed up once in the beginning, that's why people say, first impressions are a bitch, because they are. If you look over, if for 1 second in the first moment, her subconscious mind is going to look at you, categorize you, and put you in a folder. That's what's going to happen. It'll either be attractive, unattractive, or not sure yet. That's basically all that you get, And so what I do is, before I talk to anybody, I make sure everybody sees me with positive, or not positive, but dominant, attractive body language. And this makes everything go so much more smoothly. I can stand right next to a guy who says the exact same things that I say, and he will not and looks exactly like me. I mean, everything. He could be my absolute twin, say the exact same things as me, but if he doesn't do the work that I do ahead of time to expose myself in an attractive way with my body language, then it will not work for him. I've seen guys do this before. And it's all about setting that standard. There's a step before you open a woman. There's a step before that we don't know about, that no one really talks about or knows about. And that's sort of the introduction phase. That's where you become a blip on the radar of people that exist in the world to a woman. And at that moment, there's a really popular book called Blink by a guy named Malcolm Gladwell. And in Blink, he talks about first impressions and how long it takes, and why some first impressions are really accurate and some aren't, And he sort of breaks down a lot of these concepts. And it makes a lot of sense the way he explains it. I mean, your subconscious mind is super, super intelligent, and it processes stuff instantly. I think that you guys talk a lot about how long it takes for a woman to decide whether or not she's attracted to you, and it's really, really quick, like maybe 4 or 5 seconds, before she's like, okay, got it. And she doesn't have to be looking straight at you to do that, I read books on body language, but I didn't read that book. I read actually most of the study that I did on body language was through NLP study, of all things. NLP, hypnosis, and persuasion. So I studied a lot of how to get other people to follow me, or how to get other people to do things that I want. Basically, just use my body language to persuade people, and that's really all that attracting women is. You can't convince somebody to do something they don't want to do. You can't convince a woman who to like you, period. You can't do that. But you can make her want to like you. You can make her desire to like you, or you can make her feel good when she's around you. And when she, again, like I said, when she checks in with her body and checks in with her emotions, she'll feel that emotion and she'll automatically go straight to that you know, I must be attracted to this guy, or he must be really attractive or valuable as a person. So at the end of the day, what I found out sort of after all this stuff is that women are attracted to basically one thing. And attraction is only a small part of an interaction, don't get me wrong, but that is a really big hurdle for a lot of guys. Women are attracted to usually body language, but it could be anything that tells her this, to guys that other women are attracted to, other women desire. That is it. That's it. That's why guys who seem like, or who already have lots of women around them or have women that desire them, they don't have any problem because they've sort of worked up the momentum and then they just ride it, you know? And they make sure that other women know that they make sure that new women know that other women are attracted to them, and that's the end of it, you know? And it works really, really well. So all the body language that I teach is body language that guys naturally do when a lot of women want them, because it automatically sends off a signal that you're a valuable man and most of the work is done. Now, I'm not going to say that having techniques and tactics is not smart. It is smart. It's really smart, and it works really well. But it doesn't work. It won't sort of paint over the idea of bad body language or bad tonality, things like that. You know, you have to build up that base first and then take the techniques and tactics on top of it. Exactly. I mean, it looks really cool to have a car without the engine because no one knows that it doesn't have any engine until anybody tries to ride it, you know? And then if they try to ride it, and you can consider this very sexual conversation, any window right here, you know, you're kind of like, yeah, you kind of are like a car. If you don't have the engine in there, or if you have a really small, weak engine, everyone's going to laugh at you when you try to drive because you're not going to be able to go anywhere, or you'll be going really fast, and the outside looks really awesome, but the inside is, there's nothing in there, you know? So as soon as a woman tries to sort of test drive your car, which means talk to you or whatever, it won't work unless you have an engine. So, well, you know, those are training wheels and they're powerful. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Those are really powerful training wheels. Having something to say, like I have to put banter lines. When I had in the Tao of Badass, there's a reference back to the members area. Anybody who gets it gets a membership, and it's and there's a banter line cheat sheet in there, and it's just got an ongoing running list of banter lines. Why? Because they're necessary. You know, you need something to say when your brain goes haywire. You know, you need something to fall back on. But you just need some things, not everything, but you need some things. And the best way to put it is that in the beginning, everything is a crutch because you have to use it to sort of work through your anxiety, right? But Brad Jackson actually talks a lot about this, and he's very eloquent with this when he talks about this. He says that in the beginning it's a crutch, but your goal is to take that crutch and make it a super secret weapon, basically, you know, like an atomic bomb. And having those powers to use in case shit goes bad is really comforting and will make you very, very confident. You'll walk in, you won't have to worry about things going wrong anymore, because at the end of the day, attraction is non-neediness, you know? So as soon as you need the interaction to go well, then of course it doesn't go well because you need it to go well, and that shows neediness, and neediness kills attraction, and attraction is what you need for it to go well. So it's kind of this like, you know, catch-22, like an infinite loop here. So the way you break that cycle where it's like you're constantly having bad interactions, the way to break the cycle is to essentially use a training wheel and then stop. As soon as it works and you got it down and you know how to use it, stop using it. Just remember it, maybe write it down, put it in your back pocket, and then only pull it out whenever you're starting to feel like nervous or you don't know what's going on, right? And you're like a little bit confused. Besides that, I mean, I've spent, you know, I've been with a lot of women, well into the triple digits here with women, and that doesn't mean anything, by the way. I know a lot of guys that are terrible with women that actually have slept with a lot of them or been with a lot of them. But as I've been going through this process, I've been conscious of everything that I've been doing. You know, I cracked the code for making women fall in love with me. You know, for creating love out of nowhere. I cracked the code for creating attraction out of nowhere.